Hello and welcome to the Brutal Iron Gym podcast, where our goal is to cut through the BS and deliver the brutal truth about topics related to health and happiness. Today's podcast number 1677. The topic is training and the title is Developing Workout Consistency with an Inconsistent Schedule. Ooh. So one of the people following our live monthly programming service, one of the subscribers, I checked in with them and just said, how's everything going? They said, thank you for checking in. If I'm honest, not too great. My frequency in the gym has been 1 to 2 days a week for roughly the last 2 months. Oh no. Whereas it was, and I'd like it to be, 3 to 4. I do like the program structure and want to recalibrate to give it a chance to be effective. So that's awesome that they like the programming, but it is true. It's going to be very hard to see progress, to feel motivated if you're only able to get in the gym and get your workouts in 1 or 2 days a week. So what I wrote back to them was I asked them, what is your biggest struggle schedule-wise? What seems to get in the way of training? Their reply was likely no set training time I'm committed to, and by extension, not having strict work hours. My job is flexible with, not sure what they meant with the next statement. I probably should have edited that. So they said, my job is flexible, and I think what they meant is there are days they just allow themselves to keep working. So they just work more and more hours, even though, so it's like it's a 9-to-5 job, but if you don't get XYZ done, you're likely to get fired. So it ends up turning into a 9-to-6, 9-to-7, 9-to-8, 9-to-9 job. I do understand those kind of jobs. And then they wrote also inconsistent sleep schedule. Definitely understand. I think we all can understand that, especially people who work from home. And there's a lot of different types of jobs, but there are a lot of jobs that don't have that hard 9 to 5, that 5 p.m. stop time. So you just tend to keep working and working and working, and then all of a sudden it's too late, you're too tired, and you don't get it in. But all of a sudden you get an inconsistent sleep schedule because it's 9 o'clock at night, you haven't had any time for yourself, so now you try to have self-time, but it's crap time because you're tired and worn out, you're hungry, you're stressed, a million things in your mind, you end up not falling asleep till midnight or 1 a.m., and then who the hell is going to get up at 6 in the morning to work out? So a lot of struggles there, a lot of challenges. So I wrote back some suggestions. I said, bummer the scheduling can be challenging. In those situations, I often give myself options. So one thing is, and I know some of these are going to sound very common sense, but I want to just kind of get them out there, get you thinking about them, and that can spark some creative ideas for you. So one thing is, if I start work late, I work out early. In general, the overall theme will be work out as early as you can. No matter what the situation is that you're struggling with, no matter what's going on, work out as early as you can. The reason why is workout is stress. To work out is stress on the body. It's productive stress. It's good stress. But it's still stress. The longer you wait in the day, the more fatigued you get from other stressors of life, the less you're going to want to add more stress into your life. So if you've had a very stressful day, you don't want to do more stress, even if it's good stress. So it's important to get the workout in as early as we can. So that way, as our stress tolerance reduces throughout the day, it doesn't get so low that all of a sudden we don't want to work out. So if I'm thinking I'm going to start work late, I want to work out early. If you don't know your schedule ahead of time, so some people have varying hours. They might, I'm just making up stuff. Say they work Monday and Tuesday, they start work at 9 a.m., but Wednesday and Thursday they don't start till 2 in the afternoon. Well, then, heck yeah, on Wednesday, Thursday, if you're starting late, get the workout in early. You're not going to work from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. and then try to work out at 11 p.m. That's probably not going to be the best structure. You're going to be tired, worn out, it's just not going to be the best environment. So if you start work late, you want to train early. Maybe you don't have a job where you kind of know ahead of time. Maybe you can check your work schedule, your meetings schedule the night before. And you're like, okay, some days I have a meeting that starts at 8:30. It looks like tomorrow I don't have a meeting till 10. Well, then get your workout in. Get up a little early, get your workout in, and then by the time you start work at 10, you work till, say, 5 or 6 p.m., you're done for the day. It's already done. You already got your workout in. So if you know you're going to start work late, work out early. If you can work out in the middle of the day, so maybe you still start early, but there's a little bit of a gap in the middle of the day, then freaking take that, run with it. So say you have a break or a gap from 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. Don't get busy in that time doing low-level mental activities. Don't do crap around the house. Don't, take the laundry, clean this thing, maybe do a couple small errands. Maybe you have to schedule a doctor's appointment. Maybe you have to answer a couple personal emails. Don't do that low-level stuff at that gap, that 11 to 1 gap. Go work out. Save the low-level mental stuff for later in the day when you're done with work. So maybe when you're done at work at 5, 6, 7, then you can do the laundry. Then you can clean something. Are you going to want to? Probably not. But you'll already have gotten your training in, which is more important. You don't have to clean every damn day. You don't have to do laundry every damn day. You can kind of take a day off from that, kind of reschedule how you plan those things. Maybe you can do those things on days you don't plan to train. So if you typically train Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, do the laundry on Wednesday and Saturday. Right? Try to offload how much low-level mental stuff you do on training days. Try to do it on non-training days. But that's a good idea, is if you have a gap in the middle of the day, you have time in the middle of the day, go work out. Don't fill that time. Cherish that time and be freaking excited to just jump out of the desk, jump out the door, and go get a workout in while you have the time to do so. If you do have to work out after work, it's helpful to, number one, if you don't have a set stop time, create one. You'll recognize that you might say, like, you're working at 5 and you're like, oh man, I'm kind of in this project. I'm kind of in this middle of this thing. I might not be able to stop till 5:30. Okay, well, set that as a time. Set a timer on your phone, literally, to time it and give you an alarm at 5:30. If you notice, I did that, but, at 5:30, a coworker pinged me, then all of a sudden it's 6:30, it's 7, it's 8, and I didn't stop till 9. Well, the stuff you were doing at the latter half, like, say, 7 p.m., 8 p.m., that likely could have been done the next day, or did you need to be doing it at that time? Maybe you could have stopped the timer, stop the work for 20 minutes, go for a walk, do some bodyweight exercises, and then jump right back into the work. So you can put pause on work, do your workout, come back to your work. If it's not time-sensitive work, you want to kind of consider the workout is time-sensitive. If you don't get it in today, you're not getting it in. There's a deadline to your workout, right? The deadline can be that day. It can also just be when you have energy in that day. If you notice, if you set a hard stop at work at 5, you go work out, you come back at work at 6, hey, that's fine. I can do an extra hour or two, catch up a little bit on work things, but I've already got my workout in, and I would be likely to do that. At 5 o'clock, I would have the energy to work out, and then still work maybe till 7 or 8. But if you work till 6 or 7, you don't have the energy then to work out. So there's a deadline to your workout. If you're doing work that doesn't have a deadline, you need to recognize that it's not as time sensitive as the workout. So framing our mind to where if we don't have a certain stop time, we have to create a stop time to our work. And that will help. Another thing that'll help if you have to work out after work is to don't transition into anything. Go workout so it's work directly into the workout, directly into all the other crap you have to do. If you go from work and all of a sudden you're like, well, let me go, do the dishes, let me go do this one thing, let me write out the check for this one bill, and you start doing chores, you start doing small little errands. That doesn't have a stopping point. If you're not aware as an adult by now, there is more shit to do every day than you have time to do it. Even if you had 24 hours in a day, you would still not get everything done. There will still be more shit to do. It never ends. The shit never ends. But what's helpful to know about that is if I take the time to work out, all the crap I have to do, I'm still going to have to do it. But at least I'll have had my workout. I'll have progressed myself physically. I'll have given myself some me time mentally, emotionally. Then all of a sudden I don't need to stay up as late in the evenings. So there's a lot of benefit to kind of like parenting ourselves and setting up our own guidelines, setting up our own structure. There's a phrase, discipline is freedom, and that is very true. Is if you implement some form of discipline into your life, you will feel more free in the sense that you're free from emotional baggage, mental baggage, free from feeling like crap, looking like crap. You're free from a lot of the negative emotional and mental states that most people find themselves in. You have to discipline yourself because stress is stress, workout is stress, eating healthy is stress because you have to make the food, right? Typically, the most convenient things are unhealthy things. And it's not that we want to eat unhealthy. We just don't want a freaking effort. I don't want to have to cook. I don't want to have to do a lot of stuff. I just want to eat this thing and move on with my day. I just want to eat this thing and sit down. So the idea of managing stress by creating more structure when there isn't structure put on us is very helpful. You have to create your own structure. So if you have an unstructured work day, you have to give it some structure. And the discipline of that structure will allow you to be free in the sense that you're now taking care of yourself, you're now happy and moving forward with your goals. So that is some information, some tips, some thoughts for how to develop consistency for your workouts, consistency for training when you have an inconsistent schedule. You might have to do a little bit of managing every day. Maybe it's not going to look the same every day. That's okay. You just want to say, how early today can I get my workout in? That can be an overriding thought. Is the earlier I do the workout, the better. So given what looks like is going to happen today, where is the earliest time that I can get my workout in? That's a great universal question you can take into every single day. Whether that means you work out in the morning, midday, or evening, just the question of where can I get my workout in as early as possible? Create some structure. Recognize that workouts have deadlines. Your emotional health, your mental health, your physical health has a deadline. And it has priority to it as much as anything else in your life should. Cool. So I thought that was helpful. Hopefully it just gave you some thoughts. If you have any follow-up questions, just shoot me an email at brutalirongym@gmail.com. I'm always happy to answer questions. I love doing this stuff. That's why our live monthly programming service has Q&A for all the subscribers so they can get personalized answers to their problems, as well as getting great programming and at a cheap cost compared to one-on-one type work. Awesome. Okay, check out all of our services on our website. If you have any questions, reach out. I'm always here and I'm always happy to help. If you like our podcast, please share it. The more people we share the podcast with, the more people can help. That's the whole point of the podcast, is just help people live their healthiest and happiest life. To those who support the podcast via donations, I thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. We all appreciate it, as it allows the podcast to continue. There is a high hosting cost for all the different podcast platforms. If you do want to donate to our podcast, you can do so on our website, www.brutalirongym.com. Even just $5 a month, $10 a month, anything you can give, it does add up, and it is significant, and it is appreciated. If you like the information we share in our podcast, you can find more from us on our social media channels. You can find us and please follow us on Instagram and YouTube under the name Brutal Iron Gym. As always, I hope this was helpful, and thank you for listening.